120 mils of water, and we need 40 grams of margarine. The purpose of this is you then take this to the heat, and we need to bring this to a slow rolling boil. Okay, now we've had it on the boil. It's just coming up to boil now. The fat obviously has melted, and I'm going to slowly but consistently add 75 grams of strong plain flour. In this dish, certainly pastry dish, it's one of the few dishes where all the flour goes in all at once. Okay, now we've cooked the flour through. It's produced, effectively, it looks like rather a set, a thicker version of a roux, which in fact what it is, the word for this in this dish is called a panade. And the panade we now transfer, once cooked, to an environment whereupon we can cool it. Okay, I'm taking it out of the pan, putting it onto a clean work surface, where I'm going to flatten it down. The purpose of this is to have a larger space in which to cool it. Effectively grab a palette knife, and as if you were tempering chocolate, you're cooling it down by spreading it around and turning it over. You can cool it in a dish or a bowl and roll it around, but this is a considerably quicker way. It helps in case there's any elements of flour remaining to work them through, but there shouldn't be. The panade now has been transferred into a cool, clean mixing bowl, which I'm going to just set to one side. It's nearly cool enough. Whilst I'm waiting for that, I've measured out 3 eggs, and at this stage I choose to break the yolks and blend the eggs. What I don't really want to do is put whole egg yolks straight onto a semi or cool mix, which would give streaking and start to cook it if it's still too warm. Now that the panade is cold and my eggs are blended, I will add a little bit at a time, which will look like it's coagulating, but you'll keep it working only a little bit at a time until it's smooth and thoroughly mixed. I get a piping bag with a 15mm tube, and should be just in a dropping consistency. I get a goodly amount, put inside and squeeze it so it keeps it tight, no mess on the outside. Turn and twist the bag, squeezing the ingredients down to the bottom, wrap it around my finger, squeeze it so it catches the gap and the void in the bottom, and it's ready for piping. I've got some melted margarine, and I'm lightly going to grease the top of the tray and lightly flour it. To mark out the length of the eclairs, which is 10 centimeters or around 4 inches. By doing this, I'm holding the handle on the edge of the board with my finger as a guide, and my finger on the other end of the knife, and I'm just gradually going to drag down the edge of the pan, turning it and repeating the same exercise on the other side of the pan, should I be having enough mix to pipe on both sides. I need to be piping in a straight line towards the end, not putting any pressure down on the choux pastry itself, because it'll come up and look flat when it's cooked. So effectively I'm lifting it about a centimetre high and continuously bringing it down to the edge of the tray, whereupon I immediately and sharply bring it to a close. This now being completed, I'm going to go into a preheated oven to 200 to 220, roughly 20 minutes. I brought my water bath into a hand bowl. As you'll see in the chocolate there's a lovely sheen to it. It hasn't ruined the tempering of the chocolate at all, hasn't been taken too hot. I'm going to make sure I maintain this at the right temperature and hold it whilst I assemble my creme pâtissière in the piping bag in order to fill the eclairs. Taking the creme pat and put it into a piping bag with a small star nozzle, cling wrap over a steel or a back end of a wooden spoon, and using a twisting motion gently put pressure on the base of the eclair and taking it through to the end. I then get the star tube, place it to the hole I've just made, and yet again I put a twisting action just in case there's a bit of resistance, and with a gentle but firm pressure, and I can feel the filling going inside the eclair. I've got to ensure that the filling goes right the way to the other end. And so I'm picking my best 4, I hold it so that my fingers aren't too close to the top, so that I've got room to manoeuvre at the bottom. Wipe off any excess, and gently place it into the chocolate, and don't drag it out sideways, drag it up, so any excess will dribble back into the pan, and using your finger, just wipe the base. To leave these to set off, you don't want to be moving them while the chocolate's still lucid. It won't take very long, it's pure chocolate.
Once the chocolate is set, they are transferred from the pastry wire onto our service container, which is a 12-inch stainless steel flat, and served at an angle to cover the dish. Chocolate eclairs.